Okay, this is a quick run through of the Heatweb HIU Desk from Thermal Integration. Okay, I've already logged in, so I'm going to go straight to the home page. Now this is a development of 150 properties, each fitted with a twin plate heat interface unit. And the idea of the home page is to give you a snapshot of what's going on the site. So at the top we have all the HIU statuses, green being good, red being an alarm, orange is a warning, and blue means either low on supply, such as temperature, or in this case differential pressure. We have icons for the central heating is on and the pump is running, and we have icons which tell us if there's any difference, for example, between the heat meter flow temperature sensor and the HIU flow temperature sensor. So there are various alarms, or basically any alarm that we can detect is brought through this dashboard. So it's a very quick way of finding out what you've got to go to, what snags there are left. So in this case, the two obvious ones are central heating pressure is a little bit low. This one is dropping off quite rapidly. And there's one unit disconnected, which has probably just been turned off. We have a screen here which tells us the daily power consumption across the site for hot water in blue, central heating in orange, and total in green. And this graph allows us to zoom in, so we can see these tap uses. We can zoom in detail. On the right here we have a chart showing us the volumes of water used a day. So this site is only got 2 occupied properties at the moment, so the majority of energy consumption is central heating. Now we have some tabs along here, blue, that allow us access to different graphs. We have the power, we have flow rates, temperature. Now this is temperature detected at the HIU. Differential pressure updates, central heating data. So this combines the kilowatts, the total number of properties calling for heat, the flow rate, and the external air temperature. Domestic hot water. If I zoom in here, so that's a single tap use. I believe there is an instance where 2 taps coincide. There we go. So at this point we have 2 taps running in the two occupied properties at exactly the same time. We have some other tabs which to do with traffic, processor loads, and some experimental features. Now if we want to look into some actual property data, so if I click on a property, you can see how you get the different data coming up for the different properties. Now the other information we get the graph, and we can zoom in on various things going on the graph, but we also get a tree of data which includes various plot data. It includes HIU data. The most interesting being the heat meter readings, so for example flow temperature, kilowatt hours. We have statistics such as the VART performance for the day. So the average flow temperature today has been 55 into this property, and 20-degree return temperature. We have sensor readings, so pressure on the central heating, differential pressure, and various other temperatures. And we have settings, so it's hot water set point, boost flow rates, keep warm mode, return temperature limit, central heating supply temperature, pump overrun, Legionella mode, and so on. There's access to various other data, reports, commissioning sheets, and so forth as well. So the tree view gives you access to all the data related to a particular property or an HIU. You can also access data, so if I wanted to see, for example, let's close some of these down again. A particular temperature, if you click on it you'll get the historical data. And there's one, there is one tick box up top called clear, so you can actually start to overlay data, take off the clear. Okay. Now if I click on this data tab here, we get the data structure for the network as a whole. So this would include instantaneous values, flow rates, return temperatures. We have Modbus data, which isn't linked up at the moment, but that comes from the BMS system. We have weather data, information on boilers, buffers, nodes, site contacts, other documents and links. So this screen gives you quick access to pretty much everything you need to know to find out what's going on the development. Okay, one other item I haven't shown you is these checkboxes here do allow you to limit the information. So if I wanted to drill into heat meter values, so this sensor is showing a disparity of 8 degrees C. The reason that is flagged up is because there's been some rapid movement on the temperatures, so it didn't quite catch it. But as we can see, in general the heat meter readings in green marry up with the flow temperatures, so that is the correct unit and no one is tampering with it. We also have dashboard, so we can bring up a graphical dashboard for the HIU, and this will automatically update every 30 seconds. It's a nice visual way of seeing what's going on, flow rates, temperatures, valve positions and the like. Okay, now just to provide a quick run through of some of the other screens. We have a data screen that provides us access to imported data. So this comes from an Excel spreadsheet that's imported into the system. The main database in here being the plot data. So this tells us all the different stuff about the plots. We have contacts, various commissioning documents. We also have all the readings from all the devices on the network. So we have the nodes, these are the actual controllers running the network, and we have HIUs. So an HIU will have system data, heat meter data, various other data associated with it. So this screen allows you to drill down into all of the data on the system. One of the most powerful screens in the system is the report screen. So this allows us to generate a report based on all of the data coming in. So we can do a report for all plots or select individual plots. I'll just pick a few, and if we wanted to view central heating flow rates, power for example, as thermostat is cooling, and if I run that report, we get the values we've selected for the properties we've selected. Now we have some extra features such as filtering, abilities to grab all the values of a particular type, and the ability to send the report and time that when the report is sent, and the file format the report is sent, as well as to save it. So this, at the end of the day, allows us to generate a set of standard reports. So if I run a problems report, it gives us a list of the 4 problems from the front dashboard, as well as some selected information, serial controllers. We can, for example, look at all the properties running central heating. So there's quite a few properties there, and we can, for example, graph. So if we wanted to drill down and compare some values between properties, we can select them and we can graph them. One of the options is to run the report as individual reports, and that's how the commissionings sheet reports runs. So if we run this, it'll generate, rather than a table, it'll generate individual sheets. So properties 1 through. So this allows us to design reports such as the full commissioning set of sheets, email them automatically, and adjust these reports and rerun them as we need to. We can also attach conditions to reports, so they'll only get sent when there's a particular problem occurs. So it's a basic form of alarming as well. So if a particular problem in a flat pops up and it then shows up on a report, that report will be automatically emailed to the people that need to address the problem. There are various other printouts and graphical sheets and access to things, but we'll drill into them in detail in the next video. Okay, thank you for listening.